Welcome everybody to a look at the fourth main film in Radical Japan cinema and state release. Fifth overall, because obviously we have had the short film Young Bogey's Diary. And yeah, this fourth film is 1969's Boy. So this is a crime drama clocking in at 97 minutes long. So it's a pair of actors that we've seen before in this box set. So it's got Fumio Watatambe, who was also in Death by Hanging and Diary of a Shinjuku Thief, as well as Akiko Koyama, who was in The Catch. So a family of four lives off of scams in which they pretend to be injured by automobiles. So after the disappointment of Diary of a Shinjuku Thief, the wave of a relief that this evidently wasn't going to be as bad as that was quite frankly unbelievable. Literally only took about 10 or so minutes for me to realise that yes, this is going to be a film that is going to be satisfying. That said, this is still really good in its own right, while being daring and different in a manner that aids the plot and characters rather than undermining them. Because I really do think it's the stylish flourishes of Diary of a Shinjuku Thief were really undermining any kind of semblance of plot or characterization in there. So yeah, that is one reason why I was less than positive about that effort. This is also due to the reason why this is really rather quite different and daring is due to the color format shifting in between different colors depending on the scene, going from full color, which looks great, for the majority of its running time, to using single-use colors for other scenes. So we have blues and orange, like kind of sepia tint, I think it's called, using the olden days for silent films to make them look a bit different to black and white. Um, so yeah, and despite the fact that the lead character is a child, this doesn't also shy away from impactful themes or keep them from danger while being played superbly by Tetsuo Abe in his only film role. The rest of the cast is also really good. The themes are well realized. You know, you've got the themes of family and isolation, and as being as a child, knowing certain things and not knowing other things. So yeah, all of that is kind of really well realized. The cinematography is superb, especially when it is in that full color. But I also like the single color parts as well, as yeah, they do help mix up the whole cinematography and look of the film in general. It's predominantly engaging, features effective characterization. The score is solid, the pacing is on point, and yeah, the character interactions are executed well as well. So, yeah, overall, a really, really excellent effort, and yeah, one of my favourites from this release so far. It gets 4 out of 5, so it ranks alongside Death by Hanging. I know it's a little bit more conventional than that film, you know, it's not set in one location. In fact, we're going all over Japan for most of the film, going from like of Hokkaido in the north, where it's really rather quite wintry and such, and then around the coast in some more southern parts where it's a bit brighter and a bit warmer. So yeah, but I just really really enjoyed this, and it's not just because the Diary of Shinjuku Thief was as bad as it was, and I'm comparing it to that, but it's just generally really really good in its own right as well. So yeah, an effective effort. It's on its own disc, obviously, like the previous few three have been. And yeah, it's had a new 4K restoration from the original negative, and yeah, it looks fantastic. And the uncompressed mono PCM audio is also really rather good. You've also got an introduction to the film by Japanese cinema scholar Jennifer Coates from 2025, clocking in at 19 minutes long. Then we've got an archival interview with Nagisha Ashima from 1995, clocking in at 7 minutes long. Newly improved English subtitle translation, and we have the second non-feature length film in this release, and that is 100 Years of Japanese Cinema. So Ashima's documentary celebrating the centenary of cinema in Japan, tracing the history from the silent era of the late 1800s to the more recent years of Hayao Miyazaki and Takashi Kitano. So that is from 1995, and that clocks in at 52 minutes long. It's overall a decent documentary. I did skip over a couple of bits because I felt like they were spoiling what was coming up for future films in this box set. There was a certain scene involving the ceremony, also from Ashima, in this box set that I kind of skipped over, and I think there was a couple of films from him that he mentioned that weren't in this box set that were also getting talked about, and I skipped over those because again I didn't want spoilers for future Oshima films, because I have no doubt in my mind that another box set of his films will be out, or single disc releases from Radiance films at some point in the future. So yeah, I skipped over those parts, but you know, it was only skipping over the film parts. It wasn't skipping over any narration that happened after them. And yeah, it is decent, but I feel like it's a bit hindered by him having his opinions and films he likes and not likes when it comes to talking about Japanese cinema. Because quite frankly, he completely cuts out a large part of Japanese cinema in terms of you know, ignoring the Godzilla franchise, ignoring other sci-fi films from that period and such. So yeah, his opinions are kind of overriding a lot of what is supposed to be more factual and more you know non-biased look at Japanese cinema, but it's still decent enough, and I certainly added a few films that were mentioned to my watch list to try and get a hold of. Also, some interesting facts about certain actors or directors as well. A certain director died in his 80s without knowing whether or not his silent film was actually lost or not, and he eventually found it after his death, which is a little bit unfortunate. And there was also an actress, I'm forgetting her name now, but she died at only the age of 32 after dying, being impacted by the bombing of Hiroshima. She didn't die in the blast. She somehow survived it. She got blasted through a hallway into a garden, but she died from radiation effects at only the age of 32. So yeah, some interesting facts in it, and yeah, like I said, some films on there that I have added to my watch list and will keep an eye out in future. But I just wish it wasn't so informed by his opinion and was more factual and less biased. But still, it's a decent addition, and yeah, it certainly helps kind of contextualize the kind of films that Ashima was making at the time, and other films that he's done that aren't included in this box set, and certain influences that influenced his filmmaking career, like the studio system not coming into play much for his career. He did a lot of films independently. In fact, Death by Hanging was also only made for $30,000, which, considering how effective that film is and how well done it is overall, is such a tiny amount of money, quite frankly, especially considering the other typical kind of Hollywood films from the time, which were costing millions, and this is only costing about $30,000. It's pretty much Roger Corman levels of budget level. So yeah, really really decent documentary, but it's the film boy itself that is the best part of this disc, and yeah, a really really good one. I'll give the documentary 3 out of 5, just like I gave the short film Young Bogey's Diary. So yeah, overall a solid film, and yeah, thankfully a better one than the third one. So hopefully we don't dip to a low again, and we keep on this kind of level really. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you have seen Boy before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.